Bettina Ortiz y Mena was not accustomed to waiting. A former Miss Venezuela and Miss Universe runner-up, of course the accidentally brushed strawberry blood, was this day the wife of Miami Auto Parks tycoon Herman Ortiz y Mena. And at every restaurant she chose to grace with her present, she was always greeted with reverence and whisked to the exact table she designed. Today, she wanted the corner table on the terrace of Sip Sip, her favorite lunch spot on Harbor Island. She wanted to sit on one of the comfy orange canvas director chairs and stare out of the gentle lapping turquoise waters while eating her kale Caesar salad. But there was a large noisy group taking up the entire terrace and they did seem in much hurry to leave. Bettina fumed as she glared at the tourists happily savoring their lunch in the sun. Look how tacky they were. The woman overly thin, wrinkled and sulky, none of them properly lit or botox. She felt like walking up to their table and handing out her dermatologist business cards, and the men were even worse, all dressed in all ruffled shirt and short, wearing toes cheap. Straw has sold at the ticket shop of Dumar Street. Why these shucks people have to come here? The 3.5 mile long paradise with its Frenty Sphinx sand beach was one of the best kept secrets in the Caribbean. A haven for the very rich filled with quaint little walled houses painted in shade of sherbet. Charming boutiques, cheap oceanport mansion turned into inns and five-star restaurant to rival state parks. Tourists should have to take a style exam before being allowed to set foot on island. Feeling that she had been patient long enough, Bettina stormed into the kitchen, the fridge at her chin, poachy captain tap, shaking furiously as the maid beeline for the woman with a shock of pixie cat blood hair manning the main stove.
Julie, honey, what's the dealio? I waited more than 15 minutes for my table. Bettina sighed to the owner of the restaurant. Sorry, Bettina, it's been one of the days. The party of 12 on the terrace show up first just before you did. Julie replied as she handed up a bowl of spicy corn chili to a waiting server. But the Terrans is your prime spot. Why on earth did you let those tourists take up all that space? Well, the tourist in the red fishing cap is the Duke of Glencora. His party just boated over from Windermere. That is Royal Asman. You see more of the coast. Isn't it most handsome sailboat you ever seen? I'm not impressed by big boats. Bettina hopped altruistically. She was rather impressed by people with big title. From the kitchen window, she surveyed the party assembled on the terrace with new big eyes. These aristo-British type were such a strange breed. Sure they had deer sabil, row, suit and deer heirloom terrace, but when they traveled, they looked so painfully frumpy.
It was only then that Bettina noticed Tritan, well-built men in pitted white t-shirts and black kevlar pants, sitting at the adjacent table. The guys weren't eating but sat watchfully, sipping glasses of salt water. I assumed that the Duke's security detail. They couldn't be more obvious. Don't they know we're all billionaires here on Bryland? And this is how we roll? Bettina tattooed. Actually, those bodyguards belong to the Duke's special guest. They did a wool sweep of the restaurant before the party arrived. They even searched my walk-in freezer. See the Chinese fellow seated at the end of the table? Bettina squinted through her Dior Express sunglasses at the courtly, balding 70-something Asian man dressed in a nondescript white short-sleeved golf shirt and gray trousers. Oh, I didn't even notice him. Am I supposed to know who he is? That's Alfred Shang, Julie said in a hushed tone. Bettina giggled. He looks like your chopper. Doesn't he look like that guy that used to drive Jane Wayman around in Falcon Crest? Julie, who was trying to focus on searing a cut of tuna to perfection, shook her head a tight-lipped smile. From what I hear, that chauffeur is the most powerful man in Asia. What's his name again?